Everybody's Chris from Preparedmind101. Recently I got myself a brand new work sharp. The original one. You know, I still have the Ken Onion, but this one still comes in handy for a lot of things. Now my other one still runs. It's about 7 years old. As you can see, it's pretty rough looking because this is more or less taken the position as my modification handheld belt sander grinder thing. You know, I'll refurbish big ferro rods, you know, shape handles, this, that, and the other thing. So it's gotten pretty chewed up, and I wanted a nice clean one to start with. Right about the time I was getting ready to get this, somebody brought to my attention a similar device, and they wanted to know what I thought of it. So I looked it up, and this is the Smith's knife and scissors sharpener. And at first glance it looks a lot like a work sharp. So people are asking, people are wanting to know, what's the difference? Is this worth it? You know, which one should I get? So I just got the work sharp, so I went ahead and grabbed one of these so I could show you the difference, because I was kind of curious myself. So if you want to find out what the difference is between these two products, don't go away. Alright, so we got the tried and true device and we got the new kid on the block. So let's let's go piece by piece and analyze this. You've got the Smith's sharpener, which is coming in around 39 bucks. And you've got the work sharp, which I've seen anywhere from 69 to 79 bucks. So roundabout you're looking at about a $30 difference. But before you go thinking, hey, I'm going to save some money, let's take a closer look at this. First things first, let's look at the power cords. So the work sharp's got the nice insulated, big, thick power cord, and this looks thinner than a $1 extension cord from Walmart. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in the longevity of this cord. Okay, does the head rotate? Because one of the things I love about the work sharp, and the reason why it still gets use, is it has the ability to change positions. And why would you do that? Well, because I can take that off, and then I could do like I was describing with my old one. I can use it to freehand sharpen a large blade like a machete by just taking it down the length of the blade. I can use it to, you know, grind handles and smooth out hot spots. Just adds to the overall versatility of the work sharp. That's why, I'll get to that in a sec. But this one here, this Smith's, it's one fixed piece of plastic. It is not going to rotate anywhere. Now let's take a look at the on-off switch. So with the work sharp, your on-off switch is down here. And you've got two options. You've got momentary, or you can press it forward and it'll stay on. Gives you a little bit more versatility about how you're going to use it. On the Smith's, so, okay, does this do the same thing? Nope. It's only momentary. So you have to put your hand there. Some people might like that, but I don't. Let's take a look at the available angles. So on the work sharp, you've got your main angle, which is a 25-degree angle. You're going to use that on the vast majority of your outdoor knives. And then you've got a 65-degree angle down here for scissors. On the Smiths, they went with a 20-degree angle and the 65-degree angle, and these are fixed. This is part of the overall body of the device. On the work sharp, I can take this part off, put this part on, which is included, and there's my 20-degree angle. And this is the one that's mainly set up for kitchen knives. So as you can see, this is mainly going to be for kitchen type knives, thinner type knives, not for bigger outdoor knives. So you've got a little bit more options when it comes to the work sharp right out of the box. Alright, let's look how the belt is under tension on these two. So on the work sharp, it's a pretty big piece that you're going to turn and twist. Get that there. Of course, I just messed it all up. Hey, it's harder than it looks to do this on camera. So there's that. And then on the Smiths, the way it works, this is all like this right here. This is all metal, industrial grade pieces. This looks like it's all plastic. You just push it a little bit and that pops out, and then you've got these very, very thin metal pieces in here that are kind of pushing out the belt. Then once you get the belt on, you just pop that back on. But overall, you know, people are going to wonder, is like, can I just save a little bit money and get the Smiths? Well, that's up to you, but this is time proven, time tested. Like I said, my other one is like a little over 7 years old and it's still running. I should probably prove that. So yeah, even though it's kind of dirty from whatever the hell it was I was grinding, I forget. I got this, I want to say, either 2010 or 2011. This is the original one. So it just kind of goes to show, spend 30 extra bucks, you're going to get something that's going to last a good long time. This one's so fresh and so clean. This, I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, anybody can see it. I mean, when you look at this thin power cord and just the feel of the plastic as compared to whatever this composite material is that the work sharp is made out of, this just feels cheap. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Can't do a whole heck of a lot with it except sharpen certain knives at 20 degrees. That's it. 20 degrees is a little bit of a thinner edge for some knives. For outdoor knives, 25 is pretty much about perfect. But they do make another one, at least they used to, another part like this that has different guides on it. Actually, it might, I'm going off of memory because I lost that part a long time ago. They might be 20-degree guides too, but they're more open than the kitchen knife one is. So I'm not sure. But all in all, when you get a work sharp, you're getting something that does a lot more than just sharpen knives. You know, when you get that knife with that handle that's just a little bit too sharp, or just needs to thin down a little bit, or you know, polish an edge or whatever, I mean, that's something that you can do with this tool. So, I mean, I've used this in multiple videos over the years, you know, like the justification of the Tramontina machete, you know, shaping wood machete handles, and just all sorts of things I've done with this. This Smith's device seems kind of limited to me. not really a fan. I mean, Smith's makes some stuff I do like. I still have a Smith's diamond hone that's years old that I love, but obviously they're trying to get into a market that has been completely owned by Worksharp for all this time. I just don't see it taking off. But if all you're sharpening is kitchen knives, that might be good. Okay, so one other big thing is, you know, Worksharp's pretty much had it nailed on the belts and the belt grits for some time. And when you get to the Ken Onion level device, then it gets even more complex, and the belts are even higher quality. But you've got the heavy grit one, which this is really for fixing something heavy, like some heavy duty nicks, or if you're going to do something like put it freehand style and sharpen like a lawnmower blade. I usually use this for sanding and shaping wood handles and stuff like that. I mainly just start with the medium grit and polish with the fine grit. So the belts are really nice. So on the Smiths, it says that the coarse is the same grit, 80. But to my fingers and eyes, it looks way coarser than the Worksharp 80 grit. The medium grit is 220. They're pretty close to feeling the same. The polishing on the Smiths is a 600 grit, where on the Worksharp it's a 6000 grit. So the polishing grit on the Worksharp is much finer. I don't even want to actually honestly test any of my knives out on this. I just, everything that I have is basically at a 25-degree angle, so if I put my knives in this thing, I'm going to be changing the angle, and I don't want to do that. But I mainly wanted to get this thing, get it out, do a comparison, and let people see on camera, on video, like what is different, what are the differences between the Smith's sharpener and the Worksharp. And I could say, even though they look like they're kind of the same thing at quick glance, they are very different. And this to me is designed for kitchen use in mind. Has to be. Where the Worksharp is designed for kitchen or outdoor sportsman type use. So the Worksharp is going to be still the better choice for people of this channel. Now, I'm all for competition, and I was actually kind of a little bit hopeful that the Smith sharpener would have impressed me more, because then that gives me more options to offer people in different price ranges. But based on what I saw, having used the Worksharp for 7 years, it doesn't even come close, in my opinion. Yeah, it costs a little bit less, but you see where that money went when you have them side by side. It's not that much for a tool that's going to last you years. Like I said, I don't remember if it was 2010. I don't remember if it was 2011. So I've had that one, the original one, for either 7 or 8 years, and it's still running just fine. That's a quality product, especially when you're talking about something with moving parts and electric motors. So it holds up. And yeah, most people are used to me talking about the Ken Onion Worksharp with the blade grinder attachment. I still use that for a lot of my fancier stuff, but for throwing a quick edge, resetting an edge on a knife, you know, maybe a pocket knife, working knife, or something like that, you know, the original Worksharp still holds up. Still does. There is a learning curve to it, as we've talked about in previous videos, so you don't want to throw your Sabenza on there the first time and be like, I'm sharpening my knife, and then all of a sudden, you know, you didn't learn how to do it right, and you've got a butter knife tip. So you know, practice with a cheap knife. Just get the hang of it first, and once you get the hang for it, and it's something that can't even really be explained in words, it's something you learn by feel and by doing. You won't have any problems with blunting the tips on your knives or anything like that with the Worksharp. But it does take some practice. It's not as simple in use as it is in theory in instruction. And yeah, I said I got by with it for years before I upgraded, and nowadays I mainly just use ceramic rods, but every so once in a while, when you've been freehanding a knife so long, you want to just reset that edge to a nice perfect angle, start over again, and it only takes a couple swipes and you're back in business, and you're like, yes, this is a lot sharper again. So there's that. I just wanted to throw that comparison out there for you. Alright, so now you know. Chris from Preparedmind101, thanks for watching. Be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. Check the links down below for all the links to help support the channel and anything that we talked about in today's video. I'll be back with another video here soon, so see you then.